Is Akane really under here?
I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No. I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole on the grave? If I just insert this here, I pulled the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift.
What is this? It doesn't look like a coffin.
Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed a hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1, defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, it takes like 20 minutes to come out of defrost.
Stage 2 is
Oh, yeah.
complete.
It took
The
like
lock
30,
will
but yeah.
automatically disengage.
Right. Cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yep.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one. Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning. You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension. That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life-or-death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is...
history?
Yes. I suppose I should explain. Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand.
Please, because I'm confused.
First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes, in preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? And this is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh?
But I didn't do anything.
But you did.
Not in this timeline.
In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth.
I mean, it was interesting.
What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, it headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Also why the bombs
Can I
weren't
ask
in
you
the ones
something?
where Akane was dead.
What?
That's also why the bombs weren't in the ones where Akane died.
Because he was able... Wait.
He was able to kill her, so he didn't need to blow up the entire facility. He just
Right.
needed to kill everyone else and escape alone.
But wouldn't he still need to blow up the facility if he didn't lose... if he wasn't able to win the game?
I guess so, but he could still probably do that by self-destructing.
It seems to me like he would need the bombs either way. So...
Yes.
Just as... Because otherwise he doesn't have a contingency plan.
Yeah, but he still had the bombs on him in general, I imagine.
But where did he have them hidden then?
On his person, I guess.
They're kind of big for that, aren't they?
Yeah, but he didn't really have anywhere else to put them, so...
Right. I feel like there's a plot hole there.
Yeah, a bit of
Perhaps.
storage plot hole stuff.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper. We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save two, Luna and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves, at a later time. Would that be alright with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma. In another timeline.
Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is. Is he an older version of us?
Stage 2 is complete. TP00. Unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. Is it going to be Akane or is it going to be Zero in the pod? All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay. Let's get started then. Ready?
Phi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right.
What if the
Here we
answer was
go.
neither of them?
3,
And it was some
2.
third person.
Is it somebody I might be able to guess?
Maybe. I've,
Maybe.
tried to, with other questions hint at something, but I guess you could think it's hinting at Akane being in there, but I guess an easier question would be if Akane's not in there, where is she? Or you can just see for yourself.
Yeah. I feel like an idiot, but I don't have anything.
I don't think I figured it out either, but I wasn't really pressured into thinking about it.
I'm gonna guess 7 and hope Lotus.
1.
What? It's a third one of us. Suddenly, my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B, in front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I'd never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tubocurine, and that was the end of that. But, wait. If the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse. Who was wearing Kay's armor? It's Akane.
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching.
Oh my god. No. Oh my god. You're...
Yes, I am.
Akane Kurashiki.
It's you! June! I mean, Akane, from... But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane, long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do not to collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse? Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did, at least. I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room, and then took Dio's to the 5th. After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the 6th room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat. Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
What? No, that's nuts!
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied. He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
What?
I've never seen him before.
What? Oh my god. Who the hell are we?
Me either.
Total stranger.
Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Because we're old. It's like how Junpei wasn't recognized. We're Junpei. Are we his age?
I mean, if that's what you think happened, probably, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that we remember ourselves looking like that because we remember ourselves young.
Mm-hmm.
Right here? Same face?
Huh?
Are you all right, Mr. Sigma? Did you hit your head or something?
Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
And the personalities swap. So younger Sigma has swapped into older Sigma's body.
Yep.
And older Sigma is in younger Sigma's body.
Yeah.
Which has been on ice for 45 years.
Well, they're the same body. You just cloned yourself also in that time.
So, if you have clones, can the clones can trade bodies?
I don't think so. My point is, like, old Sigma is currently in young Sigma from right after the gas knocked him out, basically. And then, like, K has always been a separate entity that has been cloned, that just is resting right now in the cold sleep.
Right. I see. What does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future. From 45 years ago.
I looked around frantically. A pond! I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it! I struggled to take deep breaths. Then, slowly, I peered into the pond, looking for my reflection. What? No! This can't be real! This face!
It's your face, Dr.
ugly.
Sigma Climb.
What?
It's ugly.
Yeah. This puts a whole new spin on it this whole time when we've been, like, flirting with all the girls and things.
Yeah.
Now we realize that from their point of view, we're just a perverted old man.
Yeah.
And, you know, from our point of view, we thought, well, that we were a perverted younger man, I guess. But
yeah. There's been a lot of
Hello
hints
to the
through this,
you
like,
that's behind it now.
Alice, at
It's
one
your
of the
face
discussion things,
45
asking
years from
how long
now.
you've been working on your diploma or whatever and stuff like that.
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Dio on, I think, Quark's ending called you a senile old fart.
Oh, did he? Oh, that...
Which
it
is,
didn't
like,
even...
that's
It
the
went
biggest
right
hint.
past me.
Yeah.
Zero, the mastermind of the AB project, is you.
What? No! That's not possible! That's bullshit!
No. It's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor!
You will be. A pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying!
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
Create?
His name is Kyle Climb, your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it.
Which
So
means
that thing we
Baby
saw
K
about
is-
Child K.
Yeah, Baby K is real.
I love how that's instantly where both of us went.
It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place.
But he wouldn't be able to jump to the past. So I guess it would just be so that Phi could jump back?
Well, I guess clones might still be able to jump to their previous, like, non-cloned self. It's just not too explored, I guess.
I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
Okay. So C is rhizome 9, and A is the Nevada test site.
Actually, so A is where you got captured, or by Zero, and then you woke up at B on rhizome 9, so I guess B is rhizome 9, and you're currently close to C.
Wait, so what's the Nevada test site? E?
It's what happens right after A. Because the Nevada test site happens on, like, the 31st, and you got abducted on the 25th. So it's right after.
Oh, so it's not a joint.
Yeah, it's not a joint, it's just after the joint.
Oh, I'm starting to see I just noticed the grid in the background now. So we're looking at a timeline of events read from bottom to top.
Yeah. Where, like, the Sigma that made this game is just heading straight up, but, like, the body of Sigma is just heading straight up, while the mind is quickly jumping through those, like, things to the side.
So if we follow it from the bottom as is, then you go up through A, through B.
Yeah, they're explaining it in the dialogue as well if you wanted to read
okay,
it.
so I should forward it.
Yeah.
A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old. Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker.
I was just thinking that.
In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten? You were all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed.
So are we all over it now? Or is she also infected? Or is she talking really slowly for us?
She's also infected because she played in the Alice route
Right.
as K.
But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D.
I guess for
April 13th,
for Alice, it's possible
2029.
that she might have started to get over the symptoms of Radical 6, so she's hearing all this in slow motion.
Yeah, Alice and Quark, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm still having trouble with the way that this is mapped out. Is the body following these lines?
The body goes just straight up while your mind is jumping between all the lines.
So the arrows are showing the way that the mind is going,
Yeah,
not the way the body is going.
yeah. Or I guess it's called anima in the AB case, but basically what you're thinking.
So all these little dots are just important points of intersection.
Yeah,
So-
everywhere where you jump significantly, at least.
So the jump is indicated by going laterally.
Yeah,
So when we take a bend at A and then come back at B, this line is showing a jump.
yeah, a jump that was
So-
forced by old Sigma.
Oh, I see. So then the next jump is from C to D.
Yeah,
And then after... So we are currently... Is that where we're currently at? Going from D to B?
we're currently still from B to C, and we're about to jump back to create this nonary game, and then jump back to the Nevada test site after that.
Oh, I see. And then at that point, we'll encounter two divergent paths.
Yeah, you will either undo the Radical 6, or you will have to go back to your body right now.
Right. Okay.
You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened. The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body, until you reach point B. Do you remember when B is, Sigma?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A. December 25th, 2028. The day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
So it's rotating.
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line.
But what about where it splits into two arrows at E?
Yeah, I think she'll go into that right now.
It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path, with one exception.
Okay. This line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out by jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve, 2028.
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point.
So when they say history, they're saying history from their perspective, because they're further into the timeline than we are.
Save humankind from destruction.
Akane followed the straight path, but basically, she heard from what's about to be... she heard from you in point A or something, right after point A happened, about this whole plan.
Which had, at that point, at point A, this whole plan had already happened for them.
Yeah.
So they're recreating what's already been done. So it's in a sort of an endless cycle thing where we keep setting up for the next cycle.
Yeah.
And then people keep coming off the previous cycle saying, let's copy what happened last time.
Yeah, which is how you get Zero telling himself about Bomb 1, or whatever bomb.
Because he remembered that Bomb 1 was the only bomb that he wasn't told about, and he had to tell himself.
Yeah.
And undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But, look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness, like a bullet from a slingshot.
And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
Uh-oh.
Remember from the
jumpstart
beginning, time-wise.
The beginning what?
Remember from when you saved Akane, and she did something specific.
She took her bracelet off.
Yeah, and
but
she
put it
took
on
something
Dio.
else. There's the bracelet, key, and one other thing.
What was the other thing? I don't
You're
remember.
About to see.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out.
No.
I mean this.
The knife.
Oh, right. Dio's knife? No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Fly! I screamed and leapt toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving toward Phi's chest. I was almost there. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui ego eris. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. So that was a message to ourselves.
Yeah.
So Sigma dies at that point. But not before his other self jumps out.
Yeah. There's also we get to see the right after the jump as well. So
in a post-credit scene.
Yeah. There's actually 2 post-credit scenes, if you want me to look at them, though.
Yeah, definitely. I assume they'll just play one after another.
I think you'll select them from the timeline.
Oh, okay. So we've pretty much reached the end of the game then, huh?
Yep.
Oh, there's Russell again.
Yeah, the 2L Russell.
How long are the post-credit scenes?
They're decently long.
Oh, okay.
Like, they could be their own episode, but I think that's about it.
Oh, alright. Well, then in that case, we will probably want to end it here, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, this has been an incredibly wild ride so far. I'm anxious to see what those have in store, but...
Yeah.
The main game has been quite big. I did not... Did I? I don't think I really saw coming the fact that it was us. I mean, I think I probably said it once or twice, but non-committally.
Yeah.
So we were behind it the whole time. I'm not sure, though, about this, because this does set up a paradox, doesn't it?
Yeah, sort of, where you, like, basically, like, you do something only because it has already happened, but that, like, in the future, sort of.
Because I thought Rusty had said something to me about, like, he didn't see it until after seeing all the games through again, but there is actually a line that does not require, like, time travel paradoxes or something.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'd have to go back and look at exactly what it was he said now. A new destination has been added to the flowchart.
Yeah, those are the post-credit things.
Achievement unlocked, time after time.
There's also a lot of... in the third game, which is actually about what Old Sigma will return to, there's a lot of explanations that you missed about the second game.
Wait, and Phi doesn't jump to the past, does she?
She jumps straight... it'll be explained in the post-credit stuff, but she jumps straight to the third game, while you still have while Sigma still has the 45 years that he has to go through.
Okay. So I guess we can save chatting and speculating about that until we've seen the last bit of the post-credit scene, just to get all of the information that's coming to us.
Yeah, but a lot of questions that you might have about this game and questions you didn't know you had about this game are answered, like, in the third game.
Yeah, I'll need to look back at the third game again then, or, just to kind of see what I missed, because I guess there would have been quite a bit for me to miss, since the third game was the first thing I'd ever seen. All right, well, in the meanwhile, we will watch the post-credit content, but we will get to that in the next episode. So, in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all then. Bye.
Bye.